Dollar cost averaging versus lump sum investing. Which is better? Picture this. Somehow you own a large sum of money. Maybe it's a bonus that you got from work, an inheritance, or simply savings that you've been building over the last couple of years. Now you're standing at the financial crossroads. Do I put all my money into the market all at once, or do I deploy it slowly, investing only a little bit at a time? If by any chance you're in this situation, then trust me, you're not alone. Because this age-old question between dollar cost averaging and lump sum investing has split investors for decades. Some swear by the discipline and safety of dollar cost averaging, while others argue that lump sum investing is the real OG. But which is better? More specifically, which one is better for you? Today, we'll be breaking down both of those strategies with the help of data and some real-life scenarios. Lump sum investing versus dollar cost averaging. Let's start simple. Lump sum investing is when you take all of that money you want to invest and put it directly into the stock market all at once. You make one big move, no waiting, no installments, nothing. For example, you have over $100,000 laying in cash. You research which major stock index you want to be investing in, such as the S&P 500, NASDAQ, or the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And once you find that out, you decide to put all of your money into it. So that's lump sum investing. On the other hand, dollar cost averaging, or DCA for short, is when you spread out your investments over time and invest a fixed amount on a regular schedule. You may decide to do it weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, it doesn't matter, because your goal is to not invest it all at once. Now, let's also take a look at an example of DCA. Instead of putting your $100,000 all in once, consider investing $10,000 each month for 10 months, or $2,000 per week for 50 weeks. The idea is simple. You invest bit by bit over time, so you don't have to time the market, but by buying the shares during different intervals. Advantages and disadvantages. Lump sum investing. Now, to gain a better understanding and a clearer picture, let's examine the potential advantages and disadvantages of lump sum investing. The advantages. Number one, time in the market. The fact is that markets tend to rise over the long term. So when you invest it all at once, you're maximizing your exposure directly tied to the growth from day one. The longer that you're in the market, the higher the expected returns. Number two, historical higher returns. Studies show from both Vanguard and Morningstar shows that lump sum investing often outperforms dollar cost averaging, usually by 2/3, because markets rise more often than they fall. Number three, simplicity. Unlike dollar cost averaging, you don't have to schedule deposits. With just one move, you're done. It's basically a one and done move where you don't have to track markets every single month, nor do you have to set up recurring buys, saving you time and mental bandwidth by not consistently overthinking. Now, let's talk about the downsides. Number one, emotional stress. Lump sum investing can be a source of significant emotional stress. What if you invest today and the market drops 15% tomorrow? Past performance is not indicative of future returns, which means that anything can happen at any given time. Number two, direct risk exposure. With lump sum investing, you're being exposed to market volatility right away. This can either work in your favor or go against you. No matter what, there's always going to be risk involved. If by any chance your lump sum coincides with a market peak, it could take months, if not years, before you can break even. Number three, behavioral bias. If fear is keeping you away from investing, then you will procrastinate and leave your cash sitting on the sidelines. And the result of doing nothing? Inflation will eat away at your purchasing power. Advantages and disadvantages of dollar cost averaging. On the other hand, here is where dollar cost averaging stands. And it also has some advantages and disadvantages, just like lump sum investing does. Let's start with the advantages. Number one, risk management. Your risk management doesn't get any better than this. With dollar cost averaging, you're spreading your money over time, which means you reduces the chance of investing everything before a market crash. Number two, emotional comfort. DCA does feel safer. You're less worried about catching the market at the wrong time, and including myself, I feel better about DCA. Number three, habit building. When people invest their regular income, such as their monthly paychecks, dollar cost averaging helps them be more disciplined as they have to follow a budget regardless of the circumstances. While this may seem small, this habit will help you build wealth without needing a large upfront investment. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of dollar cost averaging. Number one, lower expected returns. Since markets do tend to rise over time, waiting to invest fully usually means that you're missing out on potential growth. Number two, opportunity cost. Unfortunately, while your money sits in cash, you're missing out on potential growth, and inflation is eroding away its value. Number three, complexity. Lastly, since DCA requires you to manage, schedule, and maintain discipline consistently, this can be challenging for some people, depending on their current life stages. Number 4, underperformance. When the markets are in an upward trend or in a bullish environment, you're purchasing stocks at a higher price and missing out on those potential returns. Now let's look at the data. Which strategy actually wins? Both DCA and lump sum investing both have their advantages and disadvantages, which makes sense because no one approach guarantees wealth. And if there were, everyone would be doing it. Unfortunately, that's not the case. With the help of data, this is where things get interesting. Back in 2012, Vanguard did a whole study across US, UK, and Australian markets to see which is better, lump sum investing or DCA. They studied different investors over a period of approximately 10 years. And their conclusion, lump sum investing was the clear winner. It outperformed dollar cost averaging. Why? Because historically speaking, markets have always gone up more often than they've gone down. So while you might put your money in it at a time when the markets are crashing, when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, you always win. But, and here's the big but, because dollar cost averaging does outperform lump sum investing in one very important situation, and that's when markets crash soon after you start investing. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the S&P 500 fell by approximately 34% from its peak. The Dow also experienced a similar decline, crashing 37%. While the markets began a strong recovery in early April 2020, if you had invested all of your money during that period, you'd be cooked. But if you dollar cost average, you'd be in a better situation, at least for the short term. Now, this raises an important question. If the returns are high with lump sum investing, why do investors frequently prefer dollar cost averaging? The answer is more about investing being a psychological game rather than a numbers game. Because at the end of the day, investors have every reason to be scared of the market where no returns are guaranteed. Even myself, I must admit that I also get afraid of investing everything all in one go. It's a bit of an irrational fear despite knowing the data and research that backs up the fact that lump sum is better. With this in mind, dollar cost averaging seems more appealing, and the psychological reason behind it is simple. Dollar cost averaging allows you to take risk incrementally, while lump sum investing makes you take all that risk all in one go. Now, before we dive into the numbers and examine this real life scenario, remember, if you're enjoying this breakdown so far and want more clear, concise, no nonsense investing guides, then be sure to hit that subscribe and notification bell so you never miss a video. And also, sign up for my free newsletter where I send out weekly market recaps, additional insights, research, stocks I'm watching or loading up on. You won't want to miss it. Sign up in the link in the description down below. Real world example. To better understand this, let's examine two scenarios. In both cases, you had $120,000 to invest. Scenario A, your time horizon spans 15 years from January 2010 to January 2025, and we'll be investing into the SPDR S&P 500 ETF, or SPY for short. Its price rose from $111 to $601 during that time period. If you had invested $120,000 all at once in 2010, then you would have experienced a total gain of 441%, as your principal would have turned into $649,700. Whereas if you had dollar cost averaged it evenly across 12 months in 2010, the average price of that would have come out to $113 by the start of January 2010 to December 2010. And you'd experience a return of 431% or $637,000. Clearly, in this scenario, lump sum investing is the winner. Scenario B. Now that we've made some adjustments, shifting from January 2020 to January 2025, during this period, the price of SPY moved from $321 to $601. So if you had invested $120,000 at the start of January 2020, you would have experienced an 87.2% gain or $224,700. However, if you dollar cost average that 120K in 2012 from January to December, the average price of that would have came out to be $320. And in this case, you would have experienced a slightly closer gain of $224,900 or 87.4% return because buying the dips during the market crash. The verdict? Without a doubt, lump sum investing gives you higher final returns, especially if you're locked in for a higher period of time. However, dollar cost averaging isn't always bad, as you were able to buy the dips during the 2020 crash, and you were able to catch up quite close to lump sum investing. So, what's the best one for you? Now that the picture is much more clear, here's what I recommend you to do. Go for lump sum investing when you have a large windfall, whether it's a hefty bonus, inheritance, or a sale of a business. 2. You're comfortable with volatility because you understand the markets go up and down, but you won't panic sell in the case of a crash. 3. You're not someone who follows the news and markets regularly. 4. You're locked in because you only focus on long-term returns. Now, you may want to go for dollar cost averaging if 1. You are risk adverse. You know that market drops will give you anxiety, which may lead you to panic selling, and if you're someone who prefers stability. 2. If you're new to investing, and with dollar cost averaging, you're building confidence in the market. Or 3, you're someone who invests directly from your income. You don't have large sums of money just laying around, or even if you do, you're saving up to buy something. How a hybrid approach may work for you. Unfortunately, here's what most people miss out on because it doesn't have to be 100% one strategy or another. You could contribute to both lump sum investing and dollar cost averaging to get the best of both worlds. What does this mean? You could invest half of the lump sum money that you have right now and dollar cost average the rest over a few weeks or months. For instance, let's just say you have $100,000. You could invest $50,000 right now and dollar cost average the remaining over the next few months. You could also set rules for yourself. For example, you can always invest lump sums of less than $20,000, but DCA anything larger than that. Of course, you could adjust this amount as needed to align with your financial goals. With this, you could become more flexible, but also benefit from both strategies while managing your emotions at the same time. Now, here's the bottom line. Lump sum investing usually outperforms over longer periods of time. Dollar cost averaging feels safer and helps you avoid emotional mistakes, but it yields suboptimal returns. Now, the best choice for you depends little on which is mathematically superior and more on which one you're actually likely to stick without panicking. And as the saying goes, the best strategy is the one that keeps you invested. Lastly, it's necessary to remember this. Both DCA and lump sum investing works best when applied to broad market indexes such as the S&P 500, which is what I did in this example, or high quality businesses that have strong fundamentals, also known as blue chip stocks. Regularly investing into low quality, struggling businesses can backfire since even consistently contributing doesn't protect you from long-term declines. So in other words, what you invest in matters just as much as how often and how much you invest in. So what's your take? Do you feel more comfortable investing all at once, or do you prefer to ease in with smaller steps? No matter which one it is, drop your answers in the comments down below, and I would love to hear from your perspective. Also, if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with a friend, especially to someone who is figuring out their investing strategy. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you next time.